Welcome to Dragonfly Trading. My name is Carrie, and I'm a full-time Elliott wave trader in the crypto and forex markets. Today's video is going to be an update on Bitcoin and ETH. Remember, this is not financial advice. This is just the way that I see the market and I intend to trade it. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We are now up and running. We are still in the process of getting things organized and completed, so just stay tuned and there'll be more announcements coming. All right, so we are on the weekly time frame. We are going to close a weekly candle today, and let's take a look at it. If it closes the way it is right now, it could be argued that it's a hangman. Hangman would be a type of reversal candle, but it's not the bearish candle, the most bearish candle in the world. That's what I'm trying to say. It's, there's more stronger reversal candles than this one. Okay, so would be considered a hangman if we don't move too much here. And with CME being closed this whole weekend and on Monday, it would be best that we didn't move much. Because whether we go up or we go down, we're going to create a gap that's going to have to be filled. And when I say have to be filled, most likely will be filled with it being so close. Okay, so let's take a look at the indicators on the weekly time frame. We are still in the bullish resistance zone here. If we want this to be the bottom of the fourth wave and this to be the start of the fifth, we have to get out of this bullish resistance zone, which is between 60 and 70. We need to get up here on top of 70 and find it as support. When we were in this run back here, and I'll try to get this out of my face, as you can see, we were way above 70. We were up in the 90s. That's what we need to do. We need to get back up into the 90s and find 50 as support. Up in the 90s and find 50 as support. Okay, let's move on down to the daily. Daily has not changed much. We do have this upward motion, and on the RSI we have the downward motion, which is bearish divergence. But every time we come down and we make a correction, we are creating bullish divergence, which is pushing us back up to the upside. This last push to the downside created bullish divergence again, which created more push to the upside. We are again getting rejected in the bullish resistance zone. If we roll over again and create bullish divergence again, we will have another push to the upside. On the market Liberator, we do have a wave to the upside. We do not have a signal for short yet, but the VWAP, which is the yellow line here, is turning to the downward side, same as the weekly. They're both turning to the downward side, which leads me to believe we are soon to have a correction. When it crosses 0 is when you see red candles. So it has a little ways to go, but we'll have to wait and see basically what it's going to do. Okay, so if you have been watching my videos, you know that I have a big problem with this bottoming structure here. And we're going to talk about it just a little bit here. Back here, let me put this back on long scale. Back here, we had the same problem. We had this bottoming structure. And we had this push to the upside that channeled the entire time. At the time, and it's so close to the same thing, at the time we could have called it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here's the same problem, okay? We had this dump to the downside, which gave us a partner. We had this dump to the downside, which gave us a partner. Then we had this dump to the downside, and as we were climbing, and everyone was thinking that this was the bottom, the problem is we had no partner for this. Now, I know this came deep because of COVID, but I think what really would have been the partner was just this. I think without the panic selling and COVID, we would have ended here. And this would have been the end. We would have had our partner, and then we would have taken off from here. And we wouldn't have came so deep. But the reason I'm showing you this is so when I talk about it over here, you will understand more. So, again, we are in this channeling structure. We have broken out of it, which is another concern. And I may not have it just completely perfect here, but there we go. Okay, so let me talk about this a little more so you understand what it is that's bugging me so badly. So, and I'm trying to get my face out of the way. So in Elliott wave, our corrections, we have one that starts with 5 waves, gives you a 3-wave correction up, and then it ends with 5 waves. It's called a zigzag. Then we have corrections that start with 3, gives you 3, then you either get 3 or you get 5. This is pretty much every correction in Elliott wave other than triangles. So we have a 5-3-5, 3-3-3, or 3-3-5. Doesn't matter the labeling at this moment for what I'm going to explain here. So if we want to call this a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5, that would assume that we are talking about this correction. Well, then we get the 3 waves up. We're going to need this 5. And we don't have it yet. We cannot call this little move right here the other 5. 1, it's not 5 waves, it's 3. And 2, it didn't hit the minimum requirement of the 618. Meaning that if we pull a fib extension on this leg, to this leg, to this leg, the minimum requirement this leg has to hit is the 618. And it did not do that. So that's my problem. if we want to say this is an A, a B, and a C, then we need, which is 3, then we need 3. Well, if we want to say this is the 3, we need 3 or 5. Same scenario, this leg has to hit a 618. So this leg can't be it, and this leg can't be it. So no matter how I break this down, I cannot find the leg, this leg that belongs to either of these. I can't find it anywhere. Okay? So that's my problem with the bottom. That is my problem with the bottom. Let's talk about, so basically, could I be wrong? Yes. There could be something down here I'm missing, and it did bottom down here, and I'm just not seeing it. Okay? So let's talk about the bullish counts first. So the first bullish count that we have is assuming that we ended at the bottom, that we ended here. And it just is what it is. So this is what we call a nest. It's a nest of 1-2s. So if you don't know what a nest of 1-2s are, which I know the people that know Elliott Wave do, but bear with me for the people that don't. A nest of 1-2s is that this first 1, 2 belongs to this big white 3, 4, 5. The next 1, 2 belongs to the orange one, which is the 5 waves inside the third. Then the next 1, 2 belongs to the third wave inside of the next one. Okay? So let's talk about this. And my problems with this, of course, you know, I have a problem with it. And I'll show you what it is. So when you make your first 1, 2 on an impulse wave, at that point, you can make your channel. Okay? An impulse wave should 1, 2 break out of the channel, 4 find support on top, and then you get your 5. We didn't do that. Not only we didn't do that, but we broke out of the channel and now we're moving sideways. Now, is it completely invalidated? No, it's not completely invalidated. It's not completely invalidated until we break 44,000. But I don't like the fact that we've broken out of the channel, and every 1, 2 that you make in a nest should be smaller than the first one. That happened here, here, and here, but the 2 should also be smaller. And if we're going to call this a wave 2, that may do something like this over the weekend, that is too big of a 2 to be in this nest, because it would be bigger than this one and it would be bigger than this one, and it just makes no sense. But this count is still on the table until it breaks 44,000. Okay. The next bullish count is also assuming that we ended here. And it is a leading diagonal. A leading diagonal is either an A wave or a wave 1. As it stands right now, many things could happen here. Many corrections could take place. But usually a leading diagonal likes to correct back down into its previous wave 2. Now, can it correct much shallower, where we make an ABC like this, and then it connects like this, and we never make it down into the wave 2? Yes, it can. This would end up being our 2 or our B. And then we go up for another 5 waves for C or the third. And if this happens, I'm going to be leaning 1 and 2. I most likely won't be leaning the A, the B, and the C because of how high up we will end up coming. Now, it is possible that we will hit what's called the expanded B pocket. And that would really take some people off guard. Yes. So the expanded B pocket would be way up here. And this is a long time away, but we'll go ahead and talk about it. This is the expanded B. So this, if it ends up being a C wave instead of a third, it would come up here into this expanded B pocket. Everybody would think that we're going, and then we would get a sharp rejection down. And then that would be our partner for this. But it still would be a very bullish correction, because what it would make is a running flat. And then we would moon. But this is months away. So what we have to pay attention to right now is what's happening here. Do we have the bullish counts or do we have the bearish counts? So remember, the bullish is the nest of 1-2s that I'm not particularly fond of. And the other bullish count is this is a leading diagonal, which would make an A or a wave 1. Okay. The bearish count, nope, wrong one. Nope, wrong one. Where are you? Oh. The bearish count and I am leaning this way because of the way we broke out of this channel. The bearish count is still assuming that we have not found a bottom. And I've changed it up a little bit here because I found a different count. But we can still call this basically an A, a B, and it's making C for simplicity. But I have found a different count, where what we actually did was made a 3-wave move for an A, 3-wave move for a B, and then we made 5 waves up for a C. At that point, this is a flat, it created our W. This move that was 3 waves to the bottom created our X. we are in the process of creating our Y, which first move was an ABC for a lower degree W. We are either done with our X or our X is going to be extended out. So we're either done here with our X, and now we're going to go up in an ABC fashion for the last Y, or we're going to get more complex where this turns into an ABC, and then we come down like this, and then the X gets moved over, and then we go up for our last leg to complete the Ys. So, yes, that's confusing, but the reason I'm leaning towards this corrective count is because of the way we were channeling, the way that we did not break the channel for our wave 3, and also the fact that we've come out of the channel. Now, could this Y be done right here? Oops. Could this W, X, Y be done right here? It could. That could be the end. Man. Sorry about that. Right here, it could very well be done. And actually, that looks very much more symmetrical. But we can extend it up a little higher. So what would have to happen here? I don't see anything. We would have to move down correctively. So that's why I feel that we have one more little up to go. Because it kind of needs to reset itself to the high so that it can move down and the type of correction we need to partner up with this one. Okay, let's move over to ETH. ETH, same exact thing. I cannot partner this leg up with this leg or with this leg because it didn't hit the 618. So I have the same problem with this down here. But, like I said before, maybe there's something that I'm not seeing. But it is driving me crazy. Driving me crazy. So, let's talk about the bull count. Bull count would suggest that we ended here. We made a leading diagonal for 1. This was 2. This is 3. This is 4 and 5. Now, when we complete 5, we're going to get a correction, which would match up with Bitcoin. Because this would turn into wave 1 and wave 2. And then we moon. Because we will have completed a 5-wave move. The bear is that we have the A, the B, and the C, and that we're going to get this partner leg over here that can very well make a higher low, and never break this bottom. Now there's one more thing that I wanted to talk about. Here's the thing. We can count this and count this and count this to death. And we can find different counts as an Elliottian. But as long as every time we come down on RSI, we make bullish divergence, I'm going to be taking this long. Not financial advice, but if we come down and we make bullish divergence, no matter what count I think this is, I will be going long. Because I could be as good as an Elliottian as I think I am, but there might be something I missed here. So like I talked about in my other videos, when you don't know the count 100%, and when it's getting confusing, go back to the basics of support and resistance and divergence. So we make bullish divergence on this daily time frame, I'm going long. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope everybody's having a wonderful Sunday, and I will see you in the next one.